CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Makovic.
Right now on the afternoon edition, neighborhood dump sites overflowing with garbage as sanitation workers stay off their routes. Thanks for joining us this Monday. It's pretty nasty. Trash bins are littering Bay Area streets as the sanitation strike stretches into a second week. This is what it looks like on both sides of the Bay right now. Trash piling up in Union City and Daly City. This is a Teamsters solidarity strike. Cities have set up dumpsters for people to dump their own trash, but even those sites are overflowing with people leaving things like mattresses and barbecues.
Look at that, simple. Bag it and dump it. Don't leave it where rats and all this stuff come out here, especially by that field, by the bark field.
Well, Republic Services gave us a statement saying they brought in workers to help with trash collections. The company says because of the modified schedule, people should leave their containers out on the street. Recycling and compost pickups are still on hold right now. Negotiations set to pick back up today. California taking on the Trump administration to get money previously promised for schools. The state has joined a lawsuit with 23 other states claiming the Department of Education froze close to $7 billion in funding. California was supposed to get just under $1 billion in grants. Attorney General Rob Bonta says the money was allocated for 6 different programs. They include teacher training, adult literacy programs, migrant education, and after-school programs.
The 21st Century Community Learning Centers at nearly 700 sites across California are on the line. These centers provide academic enrichment programs to disadvantaged children outside of regular school hours. They help students meet standards in reading and math, and during the summer they provide meals to students, a lifeline to families in need.
In a letter included in that lawsuit, the Department of Education told states it was reviewing grant programs. It said the department remains committed to ensuring that taxpayer resources are spent in accordance with the president's priorities. Police in San Jose going to give an update later this afternoon about a deadly shooting. It happened yesterday at Cataldi Park in North San Jose. Police posted on social media last night that they were investigating a stabbing incident that resulted in an officer-involved shooting. They later posted that the suspect had died. No officers were injured. 2 people are dead in separate drowning incidents along the Russian River. One of the victims was a teenager. Those drownings happened an hour apart yesterday, one at Martinelli Beach in Forestville and the other at Monterey Beach. In Monterey, deputies say they got a call yesterday afternoon about 2 young people struggling in the water. Bystanders rescued one of them, but it was too late for the other. That teen's body was found underwater within about 20 minutes. And then an hour later, a man drowned at Martinelli Beach in Forestville. Not a lot of information about that case yet. While officials investigate, they're urging everybody to take water safety very seriously. Today, the city of Oakland expected to start evicting people who are camping on Wood Street. We're talking about 2 locations. One was earlier billed a safe RV parking spot that had 40 spots, and the other was a 100-bed cabin community. The plan was to serve people who had lived in the old Wood Street encampment that closed down in April of 2023. Well, the sites were always meant to be temporary shelters, and they stopped operating in mid-May. Well, some people have found permanent housing. City officials say some people are still there and will be the focus of evictions today. A Clipper card glitch early this month cost Bay Area transit agencies more than $650,000, forcing BART and Muni to let riders ride free for several hours. According to the San Francisco Standard, the error came from an expired calendar file in the old system, kind of a Y2K style bug that basically shut down fare readers. This was on July 1st. BART took the biggest hit, losing about $380,000, followed by Muni and Caltrain. So officials say the agencies will be reimbursed, but it's not clear at this point who's going to pay for that. First alert weather now. We are seeing a range of temperatures across the Bay Area. Here is meteorologist Jessica Birch.
I'll look at that live look too at the Golden Gate Park. There's some clouds still holding on tight to our coastline today, where daytime highs are going to be sitting mostly in the 60s from San Francisco all the way down into Half Moon Bay. past the Golden Gate Bridge all the way up into places like Marin County and up into Sonoma and Napa. We have 70s in store for us this afternoon with sunnier skies widespread throughout our inland areas. It was a cool and cloudy morning, but those clouds started to retreat back to the coast into the afternoon hours, and that's the case for us as we head into the evening hours tonight too. It's a warm day for us today, anywhere from Antioch all the way down into the Tri-Valley area with 90s in the forecast for us, 80s into the Santa Clara Valley there and just along 101 stretched all the way up into Redwood City. It cools right back down into the 70s. Let's talk about a couple things that are going to change throughout this afternoon. Right now, well, at least this morning, we were in the green widespread throughout the Bay Area when it came to our air quality. Now we're starting to see that decrease a little bit. Now we're into that moderate category into the Santa Clara Valley, and we're going to keep a close eye on that as we head into this afternoon. If you're sensitive to the pollutant matter like myself, just limit your time outside. Continue to drink water throughout the afternoon. We're going to have more on what you can expect throughout the rest of this week's forecast, including the air quality coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
Thanks, Jessica. President Trump met with the NATO Secretary General at the White House today as Ukraine faces unrelenting drone strikes from Russia. President Trump announced plans to send more Patriot missile defense systems to Ukraine, with the European Union reimbursing the cost. He's also threatening 100% tariffs on countries that do business with Russia if a ceasefire deal is not made within 50 days. Meantime, Trump announced 30% tariffs on the EU and Mexico over the weekend. They are expected to begin on August 1st. The EU suspended retaliatory tariffs that were going to take effect today in hopes of still reaching a deal. Central Texas hit with pounding rain on Sunday, prompting rescuers to stop search operations for victims of last weekend's deadly flash floods. The rain set off new flood warnings in several places along the Guadalupe River. Officials have said that search efforts will continue until every missing person is found. The California Urban Search and Rescue Team Task Force is in Texas working to help find human remains. The task force is from the Bay Area. Suji Nam has the story of one first responder and his 6-year-old Labrador.
Seconds.
So my dog is alerting on live human scent.
All it takes is mere seconds for Kylo, a 6-year-old Labrador retriever, to find a live human trapped in piles of debris. Kylo is a FEMA-certified Type 1 disaster dog, trained to detect live human scent.
You know, as you can see, these rubble piles are very technical. They're very dangerous. Things move, and the dogs have to have very, very high strength and agility and drive to continue to do this work.
Brandon Bond, a K-9 search specialist with the California Urban Search and Rescue Team Task Force 3, is Kylo's handler.
You ready? Go search.
He has been training him since Kylo was 8 weeks old.
It's always been a drive and a passion to me to serve my fellow citizens. I became a firefighter EMT when I was 19 years old and have worked in various lanes within emergency services.
Bond is also the emergency manager for the city of Menlo Park. He and Kylo are a part of a rigorous team of first responders making up this FEMA task force.
Search and rescue, shut up if you can hear me.
And under this group, 6 local first responders and 2 Labradors have been deployed to Texas.
One of the first things that they needed to do was acclimate the dogs to the weather. You know, it's 95 degrees, humidity, and they're working in very, very difficult terrain along the riverbank where you have the debris flows, mud, etc.
While Kylo is trained to detect live human scent, the 2 canines on the grounds in Texas detect human remains.
The sooner we get this search and rescue portion done, then the rebuilding and the real recovery can start taking place.
Deputy Fire Chief Dan Coyle of the Menlo Park Fire Protection District says his agency is a sponsor of one of 8 FEMA teams in California. Their firefighters are working around the clock in Texas to help families find their loved ones.
Eventually, many of these incidents that we end up going to have passed the rescue stage and are in the recovery stage. And so we understand the work is difficult, and it's important, though, to try to give whatever sense of closure, if that's even possible, to the families that may have lost people.
And canines like Kylo are there to help. He has been trained to find the strongest source of live human scent that they cannot access. So I hid myself in some debris, away from Kylo's view. And within seconds, he found me.
And then when they hit that, they're trained to do what's called a focused bark alert, where they will sit here and bark, 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 bark until the handler can get to the dog, reward the dog, and then mark that location, so then the search team can then start the heavy rescue side of things.
Canines like Kylo are critical to helping save a life and helping families with answers. And it's this collaborative effort of human and dog, fueled by the passion to serve, that makes all the difference during times of devastating natural disasters.
You can help the victims of the devastating floods in Texas by scanning the QR code there on your screen for a list of relief organizations. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area, a decades-old flea market in Berkeley is technically closed. But tell that to these vendors, why they are vowing to stay open. And divers taking part of this living seawall apart. The next steps in studying the sea life that made a home there. We are remembering a major figure in the Bay Area music scene. One of the visionaries behind Oakland's Yoshi's has passed away. Kaz Kajimura, who co-founded the legendary jazz club Yoshi's back in 1972, died after battling Alzheimer's. He was 81 years old, and he helped grow Yoshi's from a small Berkeley restaurant into a world-class venue in Oakland's Jack London Square, hosting jazz legends for decades. A public memorial and concert is going to be held later today at Yoshi's. Well, it has been nearly 2 weeks since the Berkeley flea market officially closed. The market's lease ended in June after more than 50 years at the Ashby BART station parking lot. But our Dahl Lin talked with vendors who say it is not over yet.
Drumming up support for a struggling flea market and for the vendors who refuse to let it die. The Berkeley flea market officially closed on June 28th, but vendors like Ivy Yan say not so fast. The market is still alive and open for business.
I don't want to go out of market because we have to fight it and continue.
Ivy has been selling sunglasses here for 25 years, and while her profits have shrunk over time due to declining foot traffic, her love for Berkeley's lone flea market has only grown.
Very important for me. It's my life. Yeah, I see everybody and every weekend, and that's just really, feel like family.
Family and a community gathering spot. That's what this market has been for South Berkeley for more than half a century. We found old YouTube footage from 2008 showing a once vibrant marketplace. Hundreds of vendors and food trucks filled every inch of the Ashby BART parking lot. There was live music, dancing, and a drum circle, and it drew big crowds. Shopper Langusu Malanga remembers it well. She spent countless weekends here before moving to Seattle 5 years ago. She's back visiting with her son, and she's stunned by the changes.
I'm pretty sad to see that folks aren't out like they used to be, but we're here and we're going to shop a little bit and continue to just support the vendors that are here.
Like many things, the recession, online shopping, and the pandemic took a toll.
It's gone slowly downhill after the recession in 2008 and Amazon taking away a lot of our business.
With fewer customers, many vendors have left in recent years.
Yesterday was a reasonable day and I earned like $60. It's like, that's it.
The nonprofit that runs the market says it may negotiate a new lease with BART so the market can officially reopen. Right now, this operation is technically not legal, but so far BART has left the vendors alone. Vendors like Ivy say survival depends on spreading the word and bringing back customers.
We don't want to leave. We have to stay here forever.
A groundbreaking effort involving a living seawall along San Francisco's Embarcadero is producing some very exciting results. This morning, divers with the Port of San Francisco retrieved some specially designed panels submerged in the bay for 2 years. Those panels are textured and designed to attract and support local life. Well, early results show about a dozen native species, from oysters to seaweed and crabs, all made those tiles their homes.
Even in the midst of the city with all its hard structures, that marine life still finds habitat, and we're just trying to enhance that.
Well, now researchers with the Smithsonian will take those tiles back to their labs for closer inspection. The living tiles might become part of San Francisco's new seawall. Now, if you want to watch our original story, it's pretty cool. Go to our website, kpix.com, and look under Project Earth. Jess.
All right, let's start off over in San Francisco since we're on the topic. As we head into this afternoon, we're going to see some cloudy skies along the coast, a lot sunnier conditions all the way over into at least the bay side of San Francisco, so Financial District, etc. And as we head into this afternoon, we're going to top off in the mid-60s. We have lower 60s along our coastline with those cloudier skies expected today near Half Moon Bay and Pacifica. Up in Hawaiian country this afternoon, 70s in store for us all throughout the hills there, Napa, Sonoma included, stretched up into Santa Rosa. Our hot spot for the day is sitting in the 90s all the way over into Antioch, down into Livermore, so the Tri-Valley area. That puts us at a 30-degree temperature spread throughout all of our microclimates today. And as we make our way down into the Santa Clara Valley, smack dab in the middle, we're sitting in the 80s as we head into this afternoon near San Jose. And speaking of San Jose and throughout the Santa Clara Valley, right now we're starting to see that moderate air quality. And that was the forecast for us today. We're going to see this throughout the next couple of days, sitting in the good to moderate category, kind of back and forth, flirting with each other. So if you are sensitive to pollutant matter, just be careful throughout the afternoon hours. Continue to drink water, clear your throat, limit your time outside, and check in on your loved ones if they're sensitive to it too. Now, heading into this afternoon, we'll get that fresh Pacific breeze pushing in from offshore, which actually does help when it comes to our coastal communities, when it comes to air quality. We'll see wind gusts anywhere up to around 20, 25 miles per hour into the evening hours tonight, pushing through the Delta all the way up into Napa and Fairfield. It'll be a beautiful evening for us tonight, despite some of those breezy conditions. Now, you take a look at the next 7 days. The Bay, pretty much hand in hand, same. We're seeing 60s today, tomorrow into our Wednesday forecast, flirting with some low 70s as we head into the end of this week. But where we really see a big difference when it comes to our daytime highs, it's today all the way into our forecast tomorrow for our inland spots. Upper 80s today, turning upper 70s tomorrow. So 10-degree jump tomorrow in the negative direction. So it's going to feel a lot cooler for us. Not necessarily jacket weather, but a lot more mild. And then we're going to average out into the 80s heading into this weekend. Back to you.
Before we go, the value of Bitcoin hit a new record, trading at more than $122,000 today. Bitcoin's value has doubled over the past year, and the cryptocurrency industry has done very well in the Trump era so far. That is it for the afternoon edition this Monday. Remember, we are streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app.